Talk live.
I don't know. I get a little tired of hearing it, right?
The 99 is terrible. Here, I'm lacking for some reason. It's real white and flabby.
WTF. What are we doing?
Eddie, I tell everybody to listen that we're a really big deal.
Continues to grow and grow and grow.
Got to unmute ourselves. What's going on, everybody? Go talk. That's a good way to start it off. That's what I'm talking about.
Am I still muted? No.
Oh, you're great.
Hey. Hey.
Well, I had 12 wings before we started this tonight, so I might be in trouble. But hey, glad to have everybody here tonight. Really excited for this one. It's going to be a lot of fun. Pat, how you doing tonight?
I'm good, man. I didn't eat 12 wings, so I don't think there's going to be any emergency pit stops for me. I think I'm okay. I mean, I got my, as somebody commented, last week, I got my tiny water bottles.
Yep.
Stay
hydrated.
Maybe I should switch over to the Goat Locker one, but this is, it's my thing. It's my tiny water bottles. So I don't know, man. I think we're going to have some fun.
Yeah.
We got Brad on here from the IDVA. He can tend to be a character. And it should be some great conversation talking about what the Department of Veterans Affairs are doing. And then, of course, we got some really cool stuff to talk about. Goat Locker, we got the whole paint scheme thing going on. And yeah.
Well, first thing we need to do is thank our sponsor. Of course, we are presented by SAVE22. Got the hat on tonight. I love it. Good looking hat too. Save22.vet. If you need to go where the website is, of course, you can scan that QR code at Save22vet on YouTube. Go check them out. Tuesday Talk on their YouTube live on Tuesday mornings. And man, we love them over there. Thank them for being a part of this. Also want to thank HappyHourRacing.com. I'm wearing a hat they sent me this past week. And from Happy Hour Racing, I'm a Byron fan this week. It looks like so. We
as well. You should be.
Well, maybe I should be, but it's a nice hat. Fits good. Got some cool stuff. And scan that QR code if you want to go to happyhourracing.com. Get some of your NASCAR gear. It's just started up. The season's getting rolling. Now's the time to get something. Get you a diecast, whatever, at happyhourracing.com. And then to support Above the IDVA Media, which we are on right now. Do that /ATYL. That's the link right there. So go check those folks out. But the man of the hour, it is Brad from IDVA, which y'all know as Indiana Department of Veteran Affairs. Mr. Brad Harper, what's going on?
Hey, how's it going, guys? First off, I just want to tell everybody watching, I apologize for my camera. I was on my state camera, and unfortunately, for some reason, they blocked this site. So, and then I got on my personal computer, which I don't use very often, and it is not the best right now. So, I apologize for that right up front. I got my, you're talking about your hats. I got my Goat Locker Racing hat on.
Hell yeah.
What's that shirt say?
What's that?
What's your shirt say?
IDVA, Indiana Department of Veterans Affairs. So, just super excited to be here. When I first met Patrick and heard about it, I grew up racing motocross. I grew up and then I went to the military, came out, raced sprint cars for a while. We live in the racing capital of the world, obviously here in Indiana. And I just knew it was something that, number one, I don't understand because I don't play video games and I don't.
Back it up. We just lost 20 viewers because you said that.
Because you called it a video game. It's a simulator.
Let's start it over, guys. All right, we're going back to
we'll cut
to the intro. We're going to cut back in and start over.
Yeah, we're going to cut that in post.
Yeah, we're not live. It's all good.
But also, I just, but I see how enjoyable It is. And some of the things that were really powerful to me was, seeing how people interact with you in the day-to-day Discord, how they interact during the races. Unfortunately, veterans, today are not they're not going out there and joining the places that wear the hats, right? The American Legions, the VFWs. I've been a Legion lifetime member since I got out, and I haven't probably been there in 20 years because I don't smoke, and when I go there, it's the same five guys, yelling at clouds about some shit that happened in 1978. So, can I cuss on this?
I mean, we got a couple of rules.
Yeah, the rule is everybody gets one F word. Everything else is in good shape. So if you use 3 F words, me and Pat don't get ours. So
okay,
be
so
careful.
I can use your allotment.
You can if you want.
You can.
We would like to have our F word if that's possible.
Well,
so
Goat Locker, founded by a couple of Navy guys. You know why the term is "cuss like a sailor"?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Yeah, because nobody cusses like Marines. And so, yeah.
Well put, Marine.
Yeah. Well, I got my crayons over here when I get hungry.
You should eat a yellow one right now. You're getting a little low.
Yeah. So, I just, I knew, from the very first moment I met Patrick and talked to him, I was like, yeah, man, this is something I want to be involved with. I didn't really introduce myself totally. I'm the Veteran Suicide Prevention Director for the state of Indiana, which, interestingly enough, at the end of the day, somebody said, man, that's a heavy job when I talked to him. I said, no, it's not. No, it's not. I get to talk to veterans every day. I get to help them out. I get to, there's times when, you may miss the boat. Yeah, see, my dog heard that dog.
What's up, dog?
What up, dog? But I said, no, man, I have a great job. I'm out there, just trying to connect vets to other vets, which is what, you guys do all the time. And, and that's why I love what Goat Locker's doing. So,
well, we are so happy to be involved with you and Indiana Department of Veteran Affairs. But what we like to do with this whole deal is we like to bring folks in here from these different organizations, learn a little bit about them. Everybody hears about Indiana Department of Veteran Affairs every single week. And your name, the name is brought up all the time. But Brad Harper is one we don't know that well. So that's what we want to get to know. We want to learn about you. So tell us your story. Where did you serve? How did you get involved in Indiana Department of Veteran Affairs? How did that all begin?
Yeah, so I was playing baseball at IU, and I'd gotten pretty burnt out on baseball. And, military is a family affair, right? So, my dad was in the military, my grandpa was in the military. We can actually trace in my family the military all the way back to the American Revolution. Unfortunately, we also have a general in the Confederate Army. But
can't win them all.
Yeah, exactly. And so, so it was kind of something that, I wanted to go to either the Naval Academy or the Air Force Academy to fly planes. And unfortunately, I had a couple of minor transgressions, we'll call them, and didn't get my congressman's approval. And it was the coldest day in Indiana history. -37 degrees. I'm down at IU, and I called the student union. I said, hey, are the classes canceled today? And they said, no. And I said, well, they are for me. And I went to the Marine Corps recruiter's office, and I said, "Hey, man, get me somewhere warm as fast as you can." And he said, "Well, how does San Diego sound?" I said, "That sounds perfect." And so 6 days later, after that's how long it took to get your HIV test back then.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was on a plane and joined up. Loved my time. Spent my first couple years at Fast Company, the Fleet Anti-Terrorism Security Team in Norfolk, Virginia, and then went to Force Recon. Enjoyed that out at Camp Pendleton. Got out and been in business, real estate, some other things. But about, I don't know, 18, 24 months ago or so, I was kind of at a crossroads, and my wife and I talked, and I said, I'd really like to work with vets again and work with vets. And called up Brian Schmidt. Didn't even know Brian and I have been acquaintances, but I didn't even know what he did. I just knew he worked with vets. And so he said, "Hey, man, I think I've got something for you coming down the pike." And he remembered that my mom died by suicide. And unfortunately, military is a family business, but so is suicide. And so my mom died by suicide. I have two half brothers that died by suicide. So this is a big issue to me. And so as the wheels of government always spin fast, it took about 8 months for me to finally get onboarded and into my position. But I was actually talking with a guy today, and I said, that first day of coming into the office, being 20 some years out, and going into an office and just talking with veterans, I came home and told my wife, I was like, "Man, I can't believe how much I've missed this." Speaking our own language, sharing the same experiences, telling all the lies that we tell, it was awesome. Right. And I really feel like I found, for me, I feel like I found something to give back to, and that's really important to me. So,
yeah. So now you've been involved with it, and then you found me through a couple of different connections, which I think is awesome in the veteran community, how we can connect up and, and find different things that we can do and get involved with. But Goat Locker is a part of the Governor's Challenge. So can you, we've mentioned that quite a few different times. Can you kind of explain what the Governor's Challenge is here in the state of Indiana?
Yeah. So the Governor's Challenge was a challenge put out by the federal government that to all the governors of all 50 states, all the U.S. territories. And then they also put it out as a mayor's challenge to the mayors of the 50 largest cities in the United States. And basically what it was to say, hey, the rate of suicide among veterans is not acceptable. And you guys know your states and your cities and your territories better than we do. And so we're going to challenge you to, come up with a program to fix this. Indiana accepted that challenge. I'm happy to say all 50 states and 8 territories accepted that, and multiple cities. And so, they did that. And so we accepted that challenge. And, there were some folks in IDVA that really laid amazing groundwork for what, we're doing today. But when we, we talked back in November of this year, we kind of decided, hey, they put out a governor's challenge, and we want to create a community challenge. Okay. Because communities around the state, if you're in Switzerland County, or you're in Lake County, or you're in Noble County, or Allen County, or Sullivan County, every county is different, right? And so just like they put out the challenge to us to, hey, understand what's going on in your states, we decided to also do that to the communities, right? And so we changed actually the name. It's no longer the Governor's Challenge, Patrick. It's now the Community Challenge. And that's a pretty recent thing. And the reason we did that was because, most of us that are in charge here are just dumb jarheads. And so, we just take what they say and then we dumb it down for the person underneath us. And, that's really kind of what we're trying to do, is to say, hey, your community, you guys know yourselves better than anything. But we also had the unique opportunity, not with just within those communities, but we had the unique opportunity to look at nonprofits that are out there, like Goat Locker, like Creative Arts for Veterans, like ASAP, like equestrian, like Havens for Heroes with equestrian therapy, which I don't know why anybody would want to do that, but I hate horses. And I've always hated horses because all I ever did was
Wait, hold up. There has to be some trauma attached to that, because I've never ever heard anybody say they hate horses.
Well, yeah. So I
I
grew up on a farm, and I had to take care of the horses, and I never understood, like, man, this thing's, I mean, they're beautiful. I'll give them that. They are beautiful. But I never understood, like, it's uncomfortable to ride. It's, it's got a mind of its own. You said no F words, right?
No, you get one.
You get one.
Okay. So, but you didn't say anything else. So it shits everywhere, and then you gotta clean out the stalls, and so and it goes wherever it wants because it's got its own mind, right? And I grew up racing motocross, and I was like, why would anybody not just want to get on their dirt bike and go where they want to go? So yeah, that's just another one for me, Patrick, of why I hate horses. Is that valid? Do I get?
Fair enough, man. I didn't want to create trauma. I didn't want to bring up any PTSD for you or anything like that, man. So I apologize, man. We'll move on from the horses.
That's how I feel about cats. My mom had a bunch of cats.
Cats are spawn of the devil.
Yeah. We lived in the country. My mom would always feed the cats, and so we had about 1,000 cats around here. So I can't stand cats. Luckily, nobody's trying to ride cats for sport, so I don't have to worry too much about that.
No, because you get your eyeball scratched out probably if you try to ride cat.
Probably.
So we've tried to look at in today's society. Veterans are not going out there joining the American Legions and the VFWs and DAVs. They're not wearing the hats anymore, is what I say. And I get it, right? Like I'm an American Legion guy that joined, and I got my lifetime membership. I haven't been there in 20 years. They smoke in my American Legion. I go in there, it's the same 5 guys that have been sitting there since 1978, yelling about clouds about stuff that happened in 1978. So I get it, right? And so we've got to go out there and we've got to find the veterans, where they're at. They're just people out there doing people stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. And, Josh Tolan, who's one of our DSOs, said something to me that really hit home. He said, the last thing a veteran is a veteran. They're a mom, they're a dad, they're a teacher, they're a nurse, they're a plumber, they're whatever. And so because of that, they're, the last person they take care of is themselves, right? But there are some common things that when you think about, like, I would gather most of the people that do racing, probably came in after 1975, so they weren't voluntold to join the military, they volunteered, right? And so, when we do that, Patrick, you brought up a little trauma issue, right? So, a lot of military folks, if they didn't come from a military family, like myself, who, even though I came from a military family, I had trauma, right, in my background. And so they joined to get away from something, right? But that probably wasn't the biggest reason they joined. The biggest reason they joined is because they wanted to serve something bigger than themselves. And that commitment to service doesn't go away just because they take the camis off, or in Patrick's case, those bell bottoms, those whites, bad uniform. Sorry, did I say that out loud?
No, I mean, you're fine. I mean, it's okay. I'm honestly really surprised you were able to dress yourself today. So continue on.
Well, my wife did have to put on my socks for me because, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I love that Indiana Department of Veteran Affairs is going down the route of something that people would call a video game, and certain people obviously would hear it and not understand it and think, well, okay, what is this all about? But I knew a lot of guys who were in Iraq and Afghanistan. I've spent a lot of time with guys who are my age, maybe a little bit younger, and I guarantee you, they all had an Xbox, PlayStation. That's a huge part of that generation and those guys are out, now reintegrating in society, and this is their hobby. This is a thing that they love to do. And so I've loved to see the influx of, we have guys that have no black hairs left. It's all gray. We've got those guys all the way down. There you go. So you got a little, you a little peppered. Yeah. Y'all are just peppered a little bit. Yeah, I got some too, but I'm not a vet. But anyway, but you got a lot of guys that are, super young, even in their 20s, who are in Goat Locker, who are racing because this is what they love to do. They love to do that type of stuff. So I love to see, all the different organizations branching out, and trying to reach all of the generations of vets. And that's what I love about Goat Locker. I love that it can kind of service just multiple generations, kind of like what you're talking about. And being online, having this community is so nice because you can be anywhere and still be able to communicate. So I love that Indiana Department of Veteran Affairs and Goat Locker have come together to partner, doing something really great. And so far it has definitely been that case. So but I'm curious about your job title specifically. I know you probably don't want to talk about yourself too much, but I'd love to know what exactly your job is at Indiana Department of Veteran Affairs. What's your day to day?
Yeah. So, like I said, my title is Veteran Suicide Prevention Director. And that, there's, but my main focus is on upstream prevention.
Are you okay?
Jen, can you please?
She's just checking on you, man. Are you okay?
Are you okay?
Dog. She's talking to the dog. She don't care about me.
Well, I mean, I get that.
Yeah, she don't care about me. But 20 years of marriage, so what does upstream prevention mean? That's, a lot of people think about suicide prevention and they think, oh, it's the guy standing on the bridge. He's getting ready to jump. And then, John Bon Jovi drives along. And you didn't hear about that, Patrick?
No.
John Bon Jovi literally was driving along, dude's getting ready to jump off a bridge just about 2 months ago.
Was he on a steel horse?
Well, he's on a steel horse. He rides. and he's
Oh,
wanted.
come on. That was good.
Wanted.
Come
He's
on.
wanted, dead or alive.
Yeah, there we go.
And so
There we go.
and he's just like, what the hell happened to this fight?
Fuck. Hey, I'm gonna use my one F word. I use my F word.
There it is. There it is.
But and John Bon Jovi comes up and talks him off the ledge, and but that's not really what upstream prevention is, right? Upstream prevention is really curating connection among vets to where you have all these, you have multiple touch points and multiple points so that they don't ever get to that point of crisis. Okay. And so, I focus on upstream prevention. Carly Gibson is with the Indiana Department of Health, and she's one of our partners. She focuses on, that postvention, what happens after, somebody dies by suicide, because when somebody dies by suicide, 135 people are affected by that. And that's a huge number, right? So she does things like lost teams, which is loved ones, loved ones of suicide survivors. And so, she focuses on that. She focuses on suicide and suicide fatality reviews, so that we can review the cases and say, which I am on that also, but she's the lead, where we go, okay, where did the system break down? And then we recently lost our other team member who focuses on crisis intervention. He retired, and we're going to be looking to do something with that position in the future. But he really was looking at, like, okay, what do we do at that moment? Like CIT teams, crisis intervention teams, working with police forces. So when, somebody calls, instead of sending out the police officer that looks like he's in the military, sending out, a plainclothes person that is trained in crisis intervention. And so, that's kind of, when we talk about what I do every day, I mean, I'm the touchy-feely guy, right? I know you'd think of that when you look at me and talk to me, but no, really what I'm trying to do, man, is just connect vets to other vets, connect them to their communities, connect their communities to them. And then, obviously, we know that over 60% of veterans that die by suicide are not connected to their VA healthcare benefits. And so we want to, whether you believe in the VA healthcare or not, I can tell you that, operating within that world and then the civilian world, I'll take the VA any day and twice on Sunday. And so just trying to, make sure that they're getting the continuation of care that they need.
Well, you talked about some of the other resources and things like that. And as we kind of wrap this up a little bit with you, Brad, because I don't want to take up too much of your time, what are some of the other, you talked about equestrian therapy and some of these other different groups that are out there, but what are some of the resources that people can readily access?
Get out of my face.
Whether through the Department of, Indiana Department of Veterans Affairs or the larger Department of Veterans Affairs. There's a lot of resources out there. So, when you talk to these veterans or you go out there in the community, what are some of those resources that you're sharing with them?
Yeah. So I think the biggest thing, Patrick, is just when every vet is different, right? There's no two, no two snowflakes the same. And you're a snowflake, Patrick. And so
I knew it was coming.
Here we go.
But no two are the same. And so every situation is different. And so what we really try to do, like, I'm not a a licensed, clinical social worker or therapist or anything like that. Even though I talk to vets almost every day about, things they're going through, what I really am is a connector, right? And what I mean by that is, if there's a, person that I'll give you this example. So, I got a call from one of our county veteran service officers, talked to me about this guy. Senior chief equals snowflake. I love that SAVE22.
Oh, he could see it too.
Yeah.
Oh, this is perfect. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that.
So
Yes.
John, that's awesome. Anybody can be a keyboard warrior. So congratulations to you, buddy. This hat's gonna make a nice fire starter tonight. People, man.
But I talked to a guy who was having a tough time. He wasn't in suicidal ideation, but he was having a tough time. His wife had basically told him, hey, either you find somebody or you talk to somebody and get some help or we're done. And then it was like after 27 years of marriage, right? And so I talked to him. He's a radiologist. And while I was talking to him, I said, "Well, what do you like to do?" And he's like, "Well, I really like to cut wood. I like to use a chainsaw and cut shit down.
That's God's greatest invention. Right?
I love it too.
God's greatest invention ever.
Yeah,
love him.
So he's like, I really like to cut wood, and I used to like to go hunting a lot, but my son moved away, and that was my hunting partner, and so I don't really have a hunting partner." And so I said, okay. So another one of our nonprofit partners, I said, I called him, and Heroes Wildlife Adventures, right? Heroes Wildlife Adventures.
Yep.
And said, hey man, this guy wants to go hunting, but he's like, I can't, he doesn't want to go hunting by himself. And it was happened to be in deer season last year. I don't know why anybody would want to eat a deer, but it happened to be in deer season. And don't look at me like that, Eddie. I know you're about to say you just haven't had it cooked right. I've had it cooked every way. I don't like it.
Those four-legged animals, man. He hates horses, doesn't like deer.
I didn't say that. I didn't say I didn't like deer. I just don't like to eat them. And I love me some elk meat. I love me some moose meat. I just don't like the way deer taste. I don't, just
fair enough.
Yeah. But, so I called, them and said, hey, you got this guy and he'd like to go hunting. And they had him in a tree stand that weekend.
Awesome.
And and then I had to do a little research, but ended up, Team Rubicon, which is a disaster relief thing, and they always need people that know how to operate a chainsaw, and so got him hooked up with them, right? And so when we talk about connecting veterans, that's really what I mean, is like, hey, this is how we do it, Yeah.
That's awesome, man. I love to hear those type of stories. I love to hear the work that folks are doing. There's a lot of veteran organizations out there, but I still love to hear every single one of them and what the difference that they make. Pat always says, hey, if we can just save one, this would have all been worth it. And so it's so beautiful to hear just so many people that are putting their time and effort into to being there, not just trying to save somebody's life, which is a beautiful thing. I mean, that, but to find them purpose, to not just save their life where they're still on this earth, but they are useful and feel a part of this world, and they feel they've got that purpose and stuff that you guys, these organizations, help them get back where they feel like, okay, I'm doing something that means something now. I don't feel like I'm worthless, and all the different emotions that go with that. So I just love to hear those stories. I love to hear what people are doing, and y'all are a huge part of Goat Locker. We can't thank you and Indiana Department of Veteran Affairs enough for what it won't ever be able to, for what y'all have done. And it's a beautiful partnership that I'm excited to see continue to go forward. And it's been a great honor to talk to you, Brad. We definitely appreciate the stories. We don't want to take any more of your time, but thank you for making time for us tonight and sort of sharing your story.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. I mean, I always love to, get on and give I've never been on this, but I always like giving Patrick a hard time. He's an extremely easy target, and
it's very popular. I mean, it's a very popular thing to give him
soft target.
He's got a punchable face. I think that's what it is.
I don't think he has a punchable face. Like I saw somebody in here said that you had a Logano hat on. That's a punchable face right there. Sure. Punchable face.
Frick.
Yeah.
Frick.
So you said something, Eddie, and this will be the last time because I can talk all night, but talk about that, saving that one. Mm-hmm. And there's a parable that I always go back to, which is, a little boy's walking on the beach, and he's walking along. The tide had come in, and there's starfish all over the beach, and he picks up a starfish and he throws it in the water, and then he takes a couple steps and picks up another starfish and throws it in the water. And this grizzled old man comes up to him and says, "What are you doing? Can't you see you'll never make a difference?" And he picks up a starfish and he throws it in the ocean. And he says, "I made a difference to that one."
Love it. Love it. Yep.
All right. Well, thank you, guys.
Thank you, Brad.
Brad Harper, Indiana Department of Veteran Affairs. Everybody clap for him. I see you in chat. Give them the claps. Thank you so much again for showing up, making some time for us. And we're gonna have you back. There's no way we're not gonna have you back. We need more time with you. We ran out of time. So Brad, thank you so much for joining us.
Appreciate it, guys.
Well, all right. Man, love it. Golly. I'm going to tell you, Pat, these have been incredible. Every one of these, with all the different partners and sponsors, has been some of the best shows.
Maybe for you.
Well, look, I appreciate your sacrifice. I'm
just taking shots left and right.
Thank you for your service.
Yeah, there we go. Thanks. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
Jiminy Christmas.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I love it. We love to meet those folks and get to know them and put those faces to those organizations that these, folk we're always talking about. So
yeah, Brad's phenomenal, and he is actually out there each and every day. We've had that conversation so many different times when we've met. Oh boy, about what's the cost? What's it worth? And all those types of things. And, so to have him come on tonight and talk about what he does and all that stuff is awesome. To read all these stupid comments, not awesome. Not awesome when I'm in the middle of a conversation either, nor did I realize, or maybe I didn't realize it till tonight, that our guests can actually see these comments. So that's phenomenal as well. So great. Glad I picked up a new nickname here tonight. And,
you're Banana Man or something like that.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
Oh, Brandon, you can't be doing that.
Yeah, that's out of bounds.
Come on now.
Not even.
God, that's not even funny. Let's weird segue from that to this. But let's talk about our Warrior Spotlight of this month, and it is John Houchin, who served in the U.S. Army from 2010 to 2021, assigned to the 10th Special Forces Group. He was deployed across Africa and Asia. He later served with the Special Warfare Training Group as a SEER instructor, and we're proud to have John as a part of the Goat Locker family, for sure. So, John Houchin, that is your Warrior Spotlight of this month.
I tell you what's so cool about that in particular, and I love doing the Warrior Spotlights. I love all the people that we've highlighted and things like that. And again, as you go through some of these things, oftentimes you don't get a snapshot or a thank you or any of those types of things. You do it out of the goodness of your heart. And I tell you, John was so incredibly honored to be the Warrior Spotlight. He was just kind of beside himself. He texted me, when the social media went out, and he just thought it was the coolest thing in the world. So sometimes it is the little things that go just such a far way. And John's a great guy,
awesome.
man. Yeah.
Well, I love to hear that it means something to them. That's what I love to hear. I love to hear that a little bit of recognition for anybody means a lot. So I'm happy to hear that.
You can turn those comments off, man. We don't.
Well, I'll do that. I'll do that because I'm about to show a video because we're moving into the nonprofit section. And dadgummit, if we don't have to talk about something special, let's take a look at it.
It's delivery day. We got the truck loaded up. We're wearing the red polo for Red Fridays. And if you don't know about Red Friday, that's Remember Everyone Deployed. But we're getting ready to head downtown, go pick up Sarah from InVets, and then we're heading south to Bloomington to meet Nick and get this sim rig dropped off. We'll see you soon. Hey everybody, just got back from delivering that sim rig down to Nick in Bloomington, Indiana. What a wonderful time hanging out with Sarah, the CEO of InVets. Just some great pictures and videos. We're going to get them all out there and everything. But thanks to everybody. It was an amazing experience as always. I can't wait for Nick to get online and start racing with us. But thank you to InVets, not only for helping us identify this veteran, but for coming along for the delivery today. What an awesome experience. The Indiana Department of Veterans Affairs and the grant that they gave us allows us to do all these different types of things. And then you think about all the different sponsors we have at this point. Glove Station on Monday nights, Tuesday nights is Hidden Whip Brewery and the things that they've done for us. Cruising Classics and Nasties and SAVE22. Man, I wish you guys could be here. We're going to do one of these together, SAVE22. So John, mark your calendar. Albert, mark your calendar. We're going to do one of these together. Us and SAVE22. And then, on Friday nights, they took over on Friday nights as well. And then, the Sunday series brought to you by InVets. We're doing some really awesome things. And today was just another day of being able to do that. That's seven sim rigs we've been able to do to these veterans. So when Nick gets online, y'all welcome him. But in the meantime, thanks for joining us on this journey. And if the kindness is in your heart, please stop by the website, donate today, help us continue our mission. But stay tuned. We got a lot of cool stuff happening this year. We'll see ya.
How about that? That was awesome.
Yeah.
Talk about that, Pat. That was pretty cool, man.
Let's talk about first the fallout afterwards.
Okay.
Because we put the pictures up, we put the video up, and then somebody decided to take a snapshot of my shoes, and then a whole conversation took off from that point forward. It wasn't about, hey, what an amazing thing you guys just did. Thanks for everything you do. It was like, what in the deep are those shoes? And I'm like, of all the things, but no.
What were they? What kind of shoes were they?
They're Under Armour running shoes. I'm a shoe guy. I like shoes that look different and are just different. And I found those and I thought, man, those are super cool. And even my wife was like, really? And I'm like, yeah. But they're super comfortable.
I mean, at least they're not New Balances. I think New Balances is where you get in trouble. So as long as you're not wearing those, you're in good shape. Anyway.
Now, moving on from there. But hey, what's up, Monkey? A lot of guys showing up in here, which is awesome to see. But yeah, I mean, it's always such a cool experience to be able to do that. Nick is a former Army SF guy. He's actually down at IU Bloomington right now, getting his master's degree. And he saw the so InVets sends out our application when I asked them to. And so he saw that in the InVets newsletter, applied to it. Obviously, we go through our selection process, gave him, got to talk to him on the phone, and then went down there and met with him, his wife, his beautiful little daughter, who was so super cool. She was a lot of fun to hang out with. But I got to hang out in the truck with Sarah and learn more about what InVets was doing. It's not, I think that's only the second time someone's come along with me for the delivery. So to actually have one of our sponsors go with us was just so cool, man.
That is awesome.
So cool.
Yeah.
So we had a good time, but Nick's been, getting his feet wet. He introduced himself here in Discord. I know a couple of people have probably already messaged him, getting him up to speed. Yeah, he's in the Discord.
Where? When did he do that? I missed that.
2 days ago. 2 days.
Is it in a channel I can't see?
No, it's in a channel you can see.
What channel was it in?
I think it was in general.
Really?
His first name's actually Patrick, so it might say Patrick Hagen, but he's in there.
Okay. Well, everybody tag him now if we can find him. I'm gonna find it. Patrick Hagen 3. There it is.
He's in there.
Hey.
Yeah.
There you go. So everybody follow suit. Go to Discord. Go into general chat and
start tagging him like crazy.
At Patrick Hagen 3 and tell him, hey, welcome.
Yeah. But so he got everything set up pretty quickly. He's actually on spring break this week from college. So he's got everything set up. He's been getting in there and racing. So can't wait to see him out there on track with us. One of the other really cool parts about it too, and is he is turned into quite the advocate of Goat Locker Racing as well. So he did a really cool post on LinkedIn the other day, thanking us and thanking, Invets for what they're doing. So, I mean, it's I don't know, man. It's super cool, man. I could talk about it all day long, but that was rig number 7, which is incredible.
Hell yeah. No chicken this time?
No chickens, nothing out of the ordinary. It was a pretty mundane delivery, besides having Sarah with me.
Mundane in a good way, though, Pat.
Right. Nothing caught me off guard. There weren't any chickens, weren't any rogue cats running around. I didn't have to worry about any of that kind of stuff. I mean, it was just a nice, easy day.
Hell yeah. So. Well, we had some video that you took of it, which I thought was really awesome. It was really fun to see you guys. There's a longer form video of you guys sitting around talking about, what does Goat Locker mean? What is it? I real quick question, little caveat.
Yeah.
At what point are you going to be like, have you ever had this idea when you're explaining what Goat Locker means? Have you ever go, why didn't we call it maybe something a little bit different? Have you ever had like that thought?
Yes. Yep. 100%. So when that's actually a funny story. So when me and Jamie, we made Goat Locker Racing before it was a nonprofit. It was our thing. We're going to call it what we want. When we decided to turn it into a nonprofit, we had a lengthy discussion about the name. Like, do we change it to something that more people will recognize? Do we keep it as Goat Locker? And we actually reached out to a lot of different people and asked them, those that were running nonprofits, those that were in the spaces, friends and colleagues, and it stayed Goat Locker Racing, and it stayed that way because one, we get to tell a really cool story. It brings the history and the military history back into it. 2, it kind of piques people's interest. They're like, what the heck is Goat Locker? What is this thing? So it just so we stuck with it, and it ends up being a great conversation starter.
Brad's still in here, and he's listening. He's sending us private chats. He said, Brad, type in the actual go to YouTube or the Facebook that you're watching.
No, he doesn't have to put that in there. That's okay.
And if you want to type in there, but Brad Harper says, reading all these comments, I have to ask, what did Patrick do to Brandon Wallace? And
I didn't do anything.
Patrick didn't do anything to Brandon Wallace.
Nothing.
Brandon Wallace is just a cranky ass old man, and he's got nothing better to do.
He should be eating Jello and getting ready to go to bed right now.
Yeah, his wife tells him what to do, bosses him around, he's basically on a big old leash, and so he just needs to come in here and just feels like he's got something. He's got to pick on somebody else since he's always the one getting picked on.
Keyboard
Brad,
warrior.
If you haven't never seen him, he looks like an axe murder. He posted his driver's license one time, and just the lack of self-awareness when he post this online was unbelievable because it looks exactly like he's from Deliverance or something. So I don't know.
Ding 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 ding.
That's right. But yeah, so got that sim rig delivered, and really cool. Can't wait to see Nick.
Yeah, well, we got another one sitting downstairs. I got another full rig ready to rock and roll. So
heck yeah.
So we're going through that selection process right now, and hopefully here in the next 2 weeks we're gonna do it all over again.
Hey, look at that. Ray Ellingson, Mama Ellingson said,
Hey.
I had somebody know GLR at the VA yesterday, had my hoodie on. How about that?
That's awesome.
Like that. Y'all went to the Bristol race, had somebody shout you out, knew about it. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Well,
Yeah.
well, really excited to get Nick in here and
Yeah.
get him going. Really excited to meet him,
Mhm.
get him on the podcast, talk to him.
Heck
That's what
yeah.
I can't wait to do. So, really awesome. Great job, Pat. Great job, Sarah, for coming along. What was that ride like? Were you able to dodge any bullets? Did y'all have a good conversation? What was that like?
Yeah, we had an incredible conversation. Just what they're doing as an organization. In her busy life and my busy life, we're all doing things with our own nonprofits. And it's hard to grab some time just to sit down with another nonprofit leader and just have a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So it was awesome to be able to take that 45-minute drive down there and the 45-minute drive back just to chat.
Yeah.
And one of the cool things too, on the way back, as I was getting ready to drop her off and everything too, she's like, I want to do more of these. Like that was
really.
so awesome.
That is good.
I want to be a part of every one of them. I'm like, oh, okay. So that was the other really, really heartwarming part for me, is to bring somebody else along that has supported our organization, for them to see firsthand and experience it firsthand what we're doing, was incredible. And so I don't know, I might have a tag along for a lot of these now. I think Sarah wants to go to all of them, so we'll see what happens with that.
Heck yeah. Well,
she's a lot more photogenic than me. I mean, I think people would rather see her over me.
100%. 100%. Well, that's awesome. Really, really cool. Always love it. Brad said he wants to go too. So how about that?
We'll get him on tap.
You got to get a limo next time, or a trailer to put everybody in the back. What else you got on the docket for some nonprofit stuff? We got new Warrior base in Discord.
That's true. So, this has been an idea that's been kind of floating around for a little while, is to have a section within our Discord that was for veterans and first responders only. A way to share some resources, a way for them to kind of interact with each other without all the race traffic noise. Mm-hmm. So this week, Jamie put in a ton of work behind it. Not only just, setting up that part of the Discord server, and also giving our veterans and our first responders the role to where they can see it. And so it's been going well. There's a lot of guys in there chatting back and forth, sharing resources. We put some different things in there, but we wanted something that was specific for them. And so we set up Warrior Base in there. So if you're tuned in right now and you're a veteran or a first responder and you're part of Goat Locker Racing and you can't see that part of Discord, please get a hold of Jamie Barkus. He'll get you tagged and all that other kind of crazy stuff. Again, we also have that form that we want everybody to kind of fill out so we can capture all of our veterans and first responders. If you do that, you'll automatically get the tag and you'll see where Warrior Base is.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. What else you got for nonprofit stuff there, Pat? I'm going to let you kind of go on.
Nothing.
Setting up the next.
Nothing about a hot dog eating contest, but so I'll talk about a couple things real quick here, and then we got some stuff to definitely get to. As everybody knows, we'll be with SAVE22 on May 3rd there in Massillon, Ohio, for the big hike with them. I'm so excited to be a part of that. So make sure, if you could be there, be there. It's going to be a great time. And then June 28th here at the Indianapolis campus is the Lincoln Tech Car Show that we keep talking about. Should be an incredible time there. Hope to see Brad there as well. I'm sure he'll be there. He was there last year. Alexander PCs and this big Sim Expo up in Chicago the first weekend of September. We will be there, for the 3 days for that as well. And then I know I kind of threw it out there, and, you're going to get a ton of different suggestions about what race should Goat Locker Racing go to. So everybody knows last year we got 4 VIP passes donated to us. This year they doubled that. We got 8 VIP passes donated to us. So the idea right now, I'm not saying this is 100% confirmed, but the idea right now is, if Kyle Larson can do it, why can't Goat Locker Racing do it? So we already have guys going to the Indianapolis 500. We already had those tickets donated. Tim Jones and Daniel Krakiel will be at the Indianapolis 500. I know Jake Ellingson's going to the 500. So we said, why don't we also have a group at the Coca-Cola 600? So right now we are looking, at the Coca-Cola 600, which is May 25th, as the next, get Goat Locker Racing get together. So we're gonna call it, and it's not 100% confirmed, but we're gonna do the Goat Locker Racing 1100. Why not, right?
Hey, I love it. Heck
Yeah.
yeah.
So we got that going on. So we'll get that all confirmed and the details out to everybody and all that other kind of crazy stuff once it's all confirmed. But that's what we're looking at right now. And of course, we're still in the works with a couple of different IndyCar races and some other NASCAR races. But we would definitely want to talk about that. And then I know I've talked a little bit, on some of the podcasts about the Goat Locker Racing Challenge coin. They're in. These things are badass.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
These things.
Hold on. We'll give you that close up.
Oh, are we?
Hold on. Here we go.
I got to keep doing this. Yeah, these. I got to go down. These things are badass. And so on the back of them is of course, our hashtag 1 lap at a time, and that QR code will take you directly to our website. So they're in. We'll slowly but surely start getting them out there. We'll offer them to some different people and things along those lines. But these things are incredible. So happy to finally make this happen.
These look awesome.
Oh, they are a beast. If this thing is in your pocket, you're going to know about it. I'm sure you could use this thing John Wick style and take a couple people out, man. This thing is a monster.
Ninja Star. That's right.
Right. Yeah, that's a different guy.
Well, look here, Pat. You don't go ninjing. Somebody don't need ninjing, okay?
I know that guy.
Okay.
Diamond Dave.
Diamond Dave.
I love that guy. I actually have one of his T-shirts.
He's my cousin. You know that?
I did not know that.
No, he's not my cousin. But he's probably my cousin. But anyway, I don't know.
Half cock beauty shop.
That's right. Yeah. Regular can of skull says says I. Ninja Star.
Look him up. If you haven't looked him up, please look him up. Diamond Dave.
Diamond Dave
he is
Ninja School.
Yeah, it is phenomenal.
Brian F. Frog in chat.
Beauty shop.
I'm about to start doing a queen. Is it a queen therapy? What is that?
Equestrian. It's probably equestrian.
A queen therapy?
Equine.
Equine?
Equine.
I don't know. I'm not fancy, but Brad Harper in the private chat, he's still typing in the private chat, says, Brian F., the results of equine therapy that I've heard about firsthand are amazing. So he is, that's pretty cool. Excited to hear that. What else, Pat?
Well, I think it's time to move on, man. I mean, we got a lot of cool stuff going on. We got to talk to Brad for a little while. Got to talk about a few different things. We got to show off this bad boy right here, which we'll be getting out there. We ordered 100 of them, so I got plenty of them. So yeah. But we got some other really cool stuff to talk about. We had some racing going on. We've got that really, really cool paint scheme thing. I don't know if that's what we're segueing into.
Let's segue into it.
Why not?
Heck yeah. Well, we are going to eventually get there whenever I can find it. There it is. Share.
I don't even know if that's what you had queued up. I just decided to
I love it. I've been waiting. I wanted to make sure we get the important stuff out of the way, and then we'll jump right into it. All right. We'll hide our cameras, I think. I don't think we'll see each other. That's fine. Yeah, I'll try to zoom in where we can see it all.
Results today.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We got to give out results, and we're going to ready to vote on to the next round. So thanks, everybody. We had a bunch of votes, and feel free. This is sort of a Goat Locker thing, but if you want to share this link to some other people and have them vote, I don't care. But sort of a Goat Locker thing. So really excited to move on to this, and we're going to show the winners here tonight. And I think a lot of them were pretty not surprising, but there were a couple surprises. So here we go. Seed 1, Jeff Gordon Flame DuPont against the Kodak number 4, 1 seed versus 8 seed, and it was a pretty large victory here, 22-10 for the Flame DuPont. So that one will move on. And this one right here, a little bit closer than I thought it would. One of our best matchups, the COT National Guard Dale Jr. scheme against the number 5 the number 10 Tide Ride.
Yeah.
4 and 5 seed, and boom, the Tide Ride wins by just 2 votes. How about that? I'm actually surprised.
Yeah, I think you just got a lot of Dale Jr. fans. I mean, when you look at those, I think that's all that is. I mean, there's no way you pick that car over the Tide Ride. I mean,
well,
no way.
I think I want to say it's Jamie Lipke that's been kind of on the COT bandwagon, trying to say, "Hey, look, it's not about the car; it's about the paint scheme."
Oh,
And
I
so he is
can't disagree.
convinced. He's convinced that the paint scheme is good enough, despite the car. And based on this voting here, I can't say I don't disagree because it's closer than I would expected for the most beautiful
Yeah.
race car
Yeah.
that's ever been on the track.
I don't know
And
about
so
that, but
that's
yeah,
going to
move
put
on.
a 1 seed versus a 5 seed in the most terrifying matchup in my life. this is the bane of my voting to have this
Hey, at
matchup.
least it ain't going up against the rainbow one.
Yeah. So that'll be the semifinals, and all these should open up once I complete this, and you'll be able to start voting on them almost immediately. And I'll post a link in chat
Ooh,
whenever we get
there we
done.
go.
But that is going to be your semifinal matchup in group number 1.
Okay.
And then we'll move
Okay.
on down, finish this group. You know what? Blowout win. No surprise there. Haviland, number 28, is
Yep.
going to move on.
Yep. That should be Mark Martin all day long.
Yeah, we said last week that I thought this would be close. I thought for sure that there would be some Caterpillar Dodge fans out there, Warburton or Wad Burton, whatever. And I thought this would be a little bit closer, but it was not.
No,
The Valvoline,
no.
1997 Valvoline Mark Martin scheme just crushed the competition.
Love
so
it.
Group 1 going to be Jeff Gordon, Flame DuPont against the Ricky Rudd Tide machine from 97, the Haviland number 28 machine, which I don't think is the best looking Haviland scheme that's ever existed, but iconic. Obviously. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And now it's going to go up against an equally iconic scheme.
Yeah.
These next rounds are going to be tough. We'll break those down just a little bit as we move on. Let's go ahead and show the winners. Another blowout win for Home Depot.
Yeah.
Yeah. No surprise there.
No.
We move on to Long Lewis and the fraud, I think a Busch Series car, the Winn-Dixie. And well, look at that. Are you surprised by that at all?
No, not really. I mean, when you look at that Long Lewis car, I mean, it's just dead sexy. I mean, there's no two ways about it, man. And then you look at, I just don't think that probably was the best representation of that Winn-Dixie car either.
Yeah, it's a die-cast picture. Which
exactly. So,
no,
not surprised there.
So we move on down to probably the biggest upset. Well, I shouldn't say that because I'm ruining it. But one of the few upsets that we had in this whole first round. And Mac Tonight took it from the Rainbow Goodwrench number 3.
Okay.
How do we feel about that? I love the Mac Tonight scheme, and I personally voted for that Billy Elliott scheme, but I'm curious to hear your thoughts about it.
Yeah, I don't know that I'm really in love with either one of those paint schemes. But, when I look at both of them, I'm almost like you, Eddie. I like going back to the 90s paint schemes and the things that they did with them. And then I look at that Mac Tonight thing, and I don't know. I just kind of go back to even a little bit of like my childhood and things along those lines. Well, not childhood, but, during that time and all that stuff. So, I won't say it's a complete shocker.
Yeah, when I was younger, I used to play. I was an only child, so I would have a whole bunch of 1/64 scale diecasts, and I would have my own races on the carpet on the floor.
Ooh.
And I'd set them up, and I would have they would go around the pace lap, and I'd make them all go around and stuff. And I had a Mac Tonight diecast, and so I think that's probably where the love for it kind of comes in. I always had that one, and always a big fan of it. So. Rainbow Goodwrench number 3 is going to fall to the Mac Tonight, and then this one shouldn't be really a surprise to anybody. The Bud Baseball scheme, the 2001 July, is going to move on, and the biggest crushing defeat I think that we had so far in this first round. So in Group 1 and Group 4, these semifinal matchups are going to be tough. So far, pretty scary matchups. But we're going to move on. We're not going to waste too much time. I don't know how to zoom over.
You're doing just fine.
I need to be able to get over. Well, anyway, It's going to be hard to see a little bit here because I can't zoom over this way for some reason. So anyway, so another landslide, no surprise there. Kellogg's going to take number 1 seeds, continue to move on so far. This one, biggest surprise. My wife says not a surprise at all, but a crushing defeat for Dale Jarrett's Ford quality 88 machine, and the Interstate Batteries takes that one. So little brotherly battle here in the second round. Going to be crazy to see how that turns out. Now, for this one, I was surprised. I thought for sure some of these old cats would come out of the woodwork and get that 43 into the next round, but barely missed it by just a few votes, and the Pepsi 24 will move on to the next round. So old Plymouth is gone. This one, we thought this would be a battle, Pat, and it turned out to be
it did not turn out to be a battle at all.
No, it didn't. No, it didn't. But we did kind of spend a little bit of time while we were talking about it going, that Miller 12 is a beautiful car, and I think that's why it won.
Yep. All right.
So that one, we'll move on. We'll move out down into the final bracket, down at the bottom. No surprise here. Another landslide win. The 88, the 88.
That camel car is still cool, man.
I definitely included it for a reason.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
1997, so that's why it gets in there. I thought the 4-5 seed here was going to be a little bit closer than it was, but there's a lot of love for that.
Yeah, that Black Miller. Yep.
Yeah, Hot Wheels. I voted for the Hot Wheels. I think a lot of people love that scheme too. But so look here, look at this battle.
Yeah, we know who's winning that one.
1 versus 4. That's going to be tough. You think so? I think that'll be a tough battle.
I think, mark my words, that'll be a landslide.
It'll be a landslide. Okay. All right. Well, the Battle of the Green Cars, this was the actual biggest landslide.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
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 Skull Bandit takes the win.
Nice.
And not surprised at all. And another pretty big win.
Yeah.
Poor COT cars didn't make it out of the first round. The Silver Bullet going to move on.
Neither did any Gen 7 car. Well, we only had one on the docket, so.
Yeah, only one. No. I mean, so we have 2002-ish.
Yeah.
97. I don't know. I think this is 96 maybe. I'm not real sure on the Haviland. I think 96. I think that was. This is a 97. This is a what? 2000.
Gotta be early 2000s. Yeah.
Yeah, 2002 is what I'm gonna say.
It's still Pontiac.
And then the Long Lewis gonna move on. One of the only
70s, I would think.
Yep. And then you've got a 97 scheme and a 2001 scheme. So it seems to be kind of falling into that same bracket. You've got I think this one's a 99, and I think this one might be a 96.
Okay. That seems, again. Yeah,
right in that same wheelhouse. This one is a Gen 6 scheme, so no, you did get one.
That's a Gen. No, that's I guess that is a Gen 6.
Yeah, it's got the.
So we got a newer one.
Yeah. So we did get at least one of them, and then.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No. You're good.
Yeah. So that scheme and this scheme, I feel like the Pepsi is not going to make it very far. And then down here, you don't think so, huh?
No, I think that Pepsi car will be moving on.
Really?
That is a gorgeous car.
That's because you nominated it.
I didn't nominate anything.
Oh, you didn't? I thought you nominated that one.
No.
Okay. Well, this one's going to be a tough matchup. I think this is I know you don't think so, but I do. I think going to be a tough matchup. I'm curious to see if the legacy of this one, because this is not the most popular version of this body style. Like, obviously, the Wrangler is the more popular one, the 87.
Yep.
And then you've got the Lumina and the Monte Carlo for the 3 Black Goodwrench. This is not the most popular combo. So we'll see if the legacy of Earnhardt, plays it out.
Yeah.
Of course, everybody has talked about Midnight, which this is not Midnight, by the way, we found out. But people call it that. We'll see. We'll see how that one goes. And this one's an interesting matchup. But
that Coors car will be moving on.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. The first round, I really felt like that there was a lot of pretty easy choices and some
Sure.
really tough ones.
Yeah.
That not really too many surprises. But this round is going to be tough. I have no idea.
It will be. Yeah.
Yeah, I got a clue. And then once it move into the next round, the potential matchups are pretty wild because it's you potential to have the Flame DuPont against the Valvoline 6 or the Tide against the 6. Any of those could be tough. And then you have a potential matchup, I think, in this Group 4 of the Home Depot versus the baseball junior car, which I
would
think
agree.
would be
Yeah.
tough. If the 2 moves on versus the Coors, that would be tough. Yeah, and this matchup's pretty interesting. I think that'll be
That
fun.
is, man. I think that one's going to be a tough one because both of those paint schemes are, well, one, they're just awesome, but 2 are iconic.
Yeah, brothers. And Jonah
Right.
actually posted a video of of a commercial with both of them in it and a little brother battle. So a little semifinal for those 2 schemes. That'll be tough. Let's see. Jacob Linke says Group 3 is going to be difficult. That's this one down here. So
yeah,
gonna be tough, but
We'll
really cool to see those matchups. Go ahead, Pat. Sorry.
No. I'm curious to see how the whole thing kind of plays out, and those types of things. And I don't know, man. I almost wonder if we do this like March Madness style, like if people can submit their brackets from this point forward, and whoever nails it, maybe we send them something.
Okay. Well, there you go, guys. You got a bracket you want to submit, submit it. And if you get it right, dadgummit, you'll win a little bit of swag. I like it. Not a bad little call there.
From this point forward, you're going to have to make your own little bracket or whatever. Make sure you send it, send it to Eddie. Either DM him on.
Post it in, you don't want to post it, but send it to me. That'll be fine.
Yeah, send it to him via Discord, but fill out your little bracket, send it to him. And if we get somebody that nails it at the end of it, or 2 or 3 people, or whatever the case may be, then we'll send you something from Goat Locker Racing.
Okay, well, the new voting for the round 2 should be live now, so you can go to the link that is posted in the Goat Talk link. In the Goat Talk Live Discord. I'm going to post it in the Goat Talk link in the Goat Locker Discord, and I'm going to post it in chat here. So anybody that's watching that wants to be a part of this, click on that and click start voting, and you literally just click, if you haven't done it already, just click who you want to win, and it'll move on to the next round. Let me make sure I don't have the scoring up. I don't want y'all cheating. Yeah, okay, we don't. All right, so go click on that. Vote for your winners. We have a week. We'll announce the winners next week and see who moves on to the finals in each group. Going to be exciting.
Yeah.
Pretty pumped up about this. I love seeing this type of discussion. I love this stuff. But let's move on to the Goat of the Week favorite segment. And you know what? My Goat of the Week is going to be Logan Threlkeld. Normally we give it to a vet, but I want to say Logan has done a great job of being a part of the community. He's a broadcaster over there at V-Speed, and I appreciate him. A lot of broadcasters don't assimilate, don't become a part. They just kind of broadcast and they disappear and they come back. But Logan has done a great job of becoming a part of the community, kind of putting a footprint, growing roots here and being a part of the fun. And so that's going to be my Goat of the Week, Logan Threlkeld.
I love it. Yeah, he's a lot of fun. And I love to see how much he's integrated into Goat Locker Racing and all the shit talking he decides to do. We'll see. We'll see how he actually holds up in person. He's a hell of a keyboard warrior, as seems to be the theme here for tonight.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens there. But my Goat of the Week, a guy that doesn't get a whole lot of love, quite honestly. We talk about him from time to time. But my good buddy, my hetero life mate, Jamie Barkis. I
love it.
I've known that man since we were stationed together in Italy in 1996. He obviously he is family. He's my big brother. Even though some people, Jake Ellingson swears up and down that I am older than Jamie. Not the case. It is not the case. Jamie's got me by a couple years. But,
anybody that knows Jamie, I don't know why they would say that. He's like the oldest
Jake's just
soul.
being a dick.
Jamie's like the oldest soul in the world. He's got that old man like, damn it.
Yep.
He said,
Yep, that's 100% correct. But the work that Jamie puts in behind the scenes is incredible. He takes a lot of things off of my plate, whether it's been the new extreme scoring system, setting up Warrior Base. Wow, that's one way of doing it. He does a lot of that stuff behind the scenes, while he's working his full-time job and everything else that he's got going on. So he's been an incredible friend of mine for years and years, and a brother of mine. I got to go to his retirement ceremony and play a part in that. He came to my retirement ceremony. So shout out to you, Jamie, my goat of the week, and all you've done, not only for Goat Locker Racing, but for me personally in my life.
Love it. Love it. I love the Goat of the Week segment, and congratulations to that. I mean, top honor if you're the Goat of the Week. Well, you know what? Segments be damned. We got to bring back one of them.
Yeah, we do.
One of them we haven't done in a while. You guys have been really good, but we've been stockpiling some of these. So it's going to be Return of the Soapbox this week. And if you don't know, if this is the first time you ever watch Goat Talk, we love everybody here. But we are all get into these races. We get so invested in it. And dadgummit, if we don't get mad, we just can't wait to get into Discord and just type it out, my frustrations, and let everybody know. And we call it the Soapbox. We got to get that music. Shitty track truck combo. Absolutely no redeeming value to this. Blows like whoever set this up. I mean, send some of these guys to restart school. Why aren't we jamming the brakes right after crossing the line in one of the easiest tracks on the schedule to restart on? Dude, you need my doll or something. I was asking for an explanation and you just blow up crying about shit that don't have anything to do with me. Let's just fucking lift completely on a restart and stack the entire field up. I don't even know your name, but thanks for ruining my race. I've used my F words up.
You used mine too.
I gotta do frickin' now. Frickin' theme of the night. Don't check up for the car in front of you. Just plow right the frick through them. And then catch up to the field after a caution? Nah. Let's hold up people wanting to get in the pits. Icing on the cake. Let's not throw a freaking caution when a car is bouncing off the top of one. Then another. Car's hoods before the actual white flag, making people that were wrecking or checking up for the wreck lose both positions to those that ignored it. Went full speed. Freaking great. Edited.
That was a paragraph all in itself.
I read it word for word. I don't even know what it means, but that's what it said. Don't know how you've done it, but remove your head from your ass before next Wednesday. I think we would all appreciate that. I'm just getting tired of being word for word. Mm-hmm. I'm just getting tired of drove like shit. It's time to fit in with the rest. It's fine. Y'all won't see me in here again. The 99 is terrible.
It's big boy mad there.
Big mad. We're not gonna see him again.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, another series you're quitting. Maybe you're just the common denominator. Look at the mirror, frick face. Edited. Because none of you can drive. I mean, this league has went to shit. Dude, you're absolute dog shit. I don't wreck people. I don't like doing it. I'm young and fast. Heard from many of people I'm just tired of it. Like it go many of times. It just keeps happening. Like I said, I don't get enjoyment out of it. I fricked up. I let my anger get the best of me. I just tried getting moved out of the way for last. It's just not fun. I don't like drove. I drove from last to 8th and got taken out from the damage fix. Drove back up to the top 10. Got caught up in another nothing tonight is how I race. I'm just tired of getting raced like shit, and it's not even ever going to stop. I gave it several chances.
I'm happy they got that all off their chest.
I mean, just a word vomit. Just diarrhea of the mouth right there. I love it. I just want to know if I should still shove my slow bike up my ass. Cross-eyed, but still faster than you.
Oh,
You're dumb as dog shit. 99 is terrible. Well, thanks everybody who was a part of the soapbox. Happy to have that back. A lot of good stuff there. I mean, one of them, I'm going to read it again because I really don't know what I read. But this is word for word.
okay. We'll slow it down. Maybe we'll figure it out.
I'm gonna do it slower.
Okay.
I don't wreck people. I don't like doing it. I'm young and fast. Heard from many of people. I'm just tired of it. Like it go many of times. It's just keeps happening. Like I said, I don't get enjoyment out of. I freaked up. I let my anger get to. I let my anger get to me. I just tired of getting moved out of the way for last. It's just not fun. I don't like doing it. I drove from last to 8th and got taken out, got the damage fixed, drove back up to the top 10, got caught up in another. Nothing tonight. It is how I race. I'm just tired of getting raced like shit, and it's not going to stop. I gave it several chances. No punctuation. 0. I copied it exactly.
That's impressive. I mean,
it's
that's a word vomit.
Yeah, who's that? Gosh, the William Faulkner right there. No punctuation, no paragraphs, just straight shooting it out. Love it.
Yeah, I think I get it. Maybe I got it. I don't know.
He's tired of getting taken out. I think.
I guess.
I think that's what I got from it. So
yeah.
We love it. We love the goat. The goat. We love the goat talk, but we also love the soapbox and glad to bring it back. It's had a few weeks to sort of get back going. So
Fester. Let's go with
Fester. I like it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, need to talk a little bit about these playoffs here, Pat.
Okay.
And we are getting down to the nitty gritty.
We are, which is crazy to me. It always seems like when you're building the season starts, and then the next thing you know, the playoffs are here, and then you're back to building another season. So it is incredible to think that we are going to hit week 10 next week. We will set all of our other playoff fields except for, the GT3 series on Saturday. That is a straight points thing. But every other series has its playoffs. There are trophies, there are belts on the line, there are prize payouts in the 2 Premier Series. So I was working on the new playoff grids today because, my media guy, my graphic guy, the guy that does all the media stuff for me said, hey, we need to make everything look the same. I said, okay, Eddie, I'll work on that. I'm a graphic guy. So we're working on the playoff grids. I'm excited to get those out, in the upcoming week. We've definitely got some guys that are locked in on race wins and all that stuff. There's, the crazy part about this season, and I'm not even going to say it's crazy. No one has just kind of ran off with anything. Yeah. We've got some guys that won some races for sure, but you don't have somebody in any one of these series that's won like 6 races, that has just dominated it. You look at, the Premier Cup Series on Wednesday night. It's, Brandon Evans with 2 wins. It's Jeremy Gardner with 2 wins. I've got 2 wins. And then there's a few guys with 1 win. There's just no clear-cut picture in many of these series, that I look at, Eddie.
Yeah. Well, we start with the ARCA series and we look and Chris Morse Jr. had got 4 wins on the season, but has really struggled here, in the last few weeks. And now with the new ARCA car, it's sort of equalized even more. Now everything has changed. You had Mark Whitley, a new driver, I think it was Mark Whitley, came out, won Pocono. The new car, we got out on the track with it, got to see how it raced. It raced like crap, but anyway, but that's going to be sort of an equalizer for the playoffs. I think that's going to change how the playoffs work. How the whole look of that particular series is going to change because the car is 180% different. That doesn't even make any sense. It's 180-degree difference. It would make more sense. And so a lot of people right around the cutoff lines. I think the playoffs are pretty solid when it comes to both divisions, but a winner could change everything. Somebody who can win and get above that cutoff. So there's a lot that can happen in both those divisions. Devin Smith got his first win. Well, that's pretty exciting.
That was awesome.
How about that?
That was awesome.
Yeah.
I even texted him after the race and all the other kind of crazy stuff. So happy for him and proud and all those types of things. So again, we've talked about this a ton, Eddie. The ARCA series is probably one of the more exciting ones that we have going on here because of the two different divisions. There's going to be two totally different sets of playoffs going at the same time. Even though all those guys are going to be thrown on the track together, trying to make it through their brackets to get to the championship.
Yeah.
So I can't wait,
Can't either. It's going to be a fun playoffs. I can't wait to see. I'm so excited for the championship race where there'll be 4 pros and 4 amateurs fighting for the championship all in the same race. It's such a
Yep.
really cool thing. I just can't wait to see that all play out. It'll be
Yeah.
super exciting. We got a couple more races. We got the late model was done tonight.
Yeah.
You could see it happened right before we finished.
Jamie Mullins won tonight.
Did he really?
He did. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so Jamie Mullins going to get him one. We'll see if we look at the standings before this race tonight. And Riley Duncan has 3 wins. I think he's playing on controller. And then you got Tommy Limley and Jacob Densky with the So, and you see Josh Younger. I'm not showing it on the screen, but Warren Clayton, Josh Younger fighting for that cutoff. So the late model series is pretty cool too. We got tomorrow night. Got the Friday night truck series. We'll get to their penultimate race, and then Sunday night series as well. So we're getting right down to it. I can't wait to see who's going to make the playoffs, who's not. Yeah, it's the seasons have been awesome, and this is. I feel like every season, each series gets better. Like the Friday night series last season, sort of set the tone for everything.
It did.
It was one of the best seasons I've ever broadcasted, been around, seen, just so competitive. And then everything sort of, instead of the Friday night truck series devolving down, everything kind of came up. All the other series have risen to that same level of competition, and the season has just been unbelievable.
Yeah,
it's 9 laps at the late model race tonight. So I mean, well done, guys. That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, there's been some incredible racing. I mean, last night in the Premier Cup Series, we were at Phoenix and only had one caution. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, what a great race that was. Got torpedoed.
Yeah, you did.
I got
right in front of me.
I mean,
yeah.
I was already sad before I started the race, and then I was sad because I was in the next gen car, and then he clobbered me. And shout out to Blake Edel. He got loose on the apron and just shot back. He was trying to overcorrect. I mean, I don't blame him at all. It's going to happen. I've done it. And but it just clobbered me, and my race was just done. Which I was happy. The next gen car. I told Jonah the other night. I said, the more I race the next gen car, the worse I get at it. And I don't know why. I don't like it. It doesn't fit what I do. Everything I try doesn't seem to work. I don't know what it is. So I don't race it enough. I probably, but it just seems like I just can't get a grip on it.
Can't disagree with you too much there. Not the biggest fan of that car either. Definitely. I don't know. Car. I was horrible last night. Absolutely garbage. And that's the thing that drives me crazy about that car. You go to one track.
I didn't help that either.
Well, you go to one track and you've got a handle on the thing and you're like, oh, I figured this thing out. You go to another track and you're just hot garbage and you're like, all right. Yep. But I can't wait to set these playoff fields. I can't wait to here in a week announce your regular season champions and all the stuff that comes along with it. And then get into the playoffs and have a lot of fun with that. Crown our next round of Goat Locker Racing champions, and looking forward to it.
I do want to kind of put a little PSA out there, and really just it's almost sort of going to be sort of a beg. I don't think it's going to work, but I'm going to try anyway. If you don't make the playoffs, please keep showing up. Yeah. We want you to race. We're here to watch. We're here for you to come and race. I'll make the pledge in the ARCA series. If I get knocked out of any round in the playoffs, I'm going to be there. I promise you. Mm-hmm. I'm going to be there and race, regardless of whether or not I'm in the playoffs. So guys, don't just stop showing up. We want to see those fields to continue to be those sizes that they have been, have the competition that we've been having, and we race because we like for y'all to be there. We like the camaraderie. That's the point. The point is not to win a championship and to win a trophy. Those are nice, but it's about camaraderie, having places where people come race with folks. don't be the guy, if you got 3 or 4 on your team, now you got one guy on the team just sitting in there by himself in the Discord. So be there for your teammates, at least spot for them, do something, show up, race. That's what we want to see. That's my plea.
What else?
Well, before we call this one, we're
Oh.
going to do a little bit of what we call chat engagement.
Yeah.
Y'all have been really nice in chat of being active,
yeah.
being a part of us. And so we've been doing this thing where we want to kind of include y'all. We try to include everybody through the whole thing, but we've been trying to ask about some different things. So, the first one I'm going to talk about is one that I want to hear folks from. We talked about the ARCA car last week. And Pat, I know this sucks for you because you haven't driven it yet, but I would love to hear everybody's thoughts in chat about the new ARCA car. What do y'all feel about it? I've got my opinion, so I'm going to tell mine. This is my little soapbox.
Here we go.
But and I want to hear y'all's opinions and stuff on it. I'm gonna put the little chat up here. But I am so bummed out, Pat.
I know.
We've got the next gen car, which to me is one of the least fun. It makes me hate Darlington. And then I don't get a chance to run the Xfinity car. The truck is okay, but it has an issue where it just doesn't have enough horsepower. It's a lot of drafting at bigger tracks. It's okay. But the ARCA car was my last hurrah. That was my last place where I could use my throttle, lean on the right rear, rotate the car. I could drive it with the throttle. We could race hard side by side. And now it's the Gen 6 car. Of all the things it could be, it is a super hard draft at Pocono. Pat, if you didn't watch the race,
I watched.
there were 3. You did watch it. So you saw the 3 of us, me, Mark Whitley, and Jacob Ellingson. We made the call to not race. We said, okay, we're not going to race. And we're going to just ride in nose to tail. And we pulled away from the field by 6 seconds because those guys decided to do the worst thing in the world, apparently, which is race side by side. And I cannot stand that, where the right move is to not race. I cannot stand that is the thing. And so once we go to these bigger tracks, we go to, auto clubs or Michigans or stuff like that, the right call will be to not take the run. You'll get these big, huge runs. I was getting these massive runs down Pocono, all 3 of the straightaways. And the right call was to not pull out and pass because it was only going to hurt us. And that bummed me out so much because even if I did pull out, the outside is so strong on those cars because of the side draft, how much when you pull out after those big drafts, like a big parachute drops. And it's like the next gen car. And so even if I pulled out and tried to make a pass on it, it was going to be tough to make that pass on the inside. Just really bummed out about how it races. So that's my soapbox. There's a lot of races that we'll have where the leader is the strongest driver. If you don't qualify up front, you won't win the race. That's how these races are going to go unless they adjust it a little bit. So, I don't know. I'm super bummed. The setups are really tight. Makes for some frustrating racing, but I am apparently in a minority. You see these over here at the side.
I would give it some time. I don't think one race makes a judgment. Give it some time. Give it, see how they shake some things out with it. I would like to see it on a few different tracks before I would, put it on a good 1.5 miles, put it on a technical 1.5 miles, put it on a fast 1.5 miles, put it on a short track. And then kind of, reserve a little bit of judgment because I've definitely been a part of a lot of Pocono races like that, no matter what car you're in, I think. To where it is very draft dependent, and sometimes the better strategy is just to draft and stay in line. I don't know. I guess maybe I need to get behind the wheel of this thing so I can actually weigh in on this conversation.
Yeah, it's the Gen 6 car. It reminds me exactly of that, maybe a little bit less horsepower, which was a frustrating car just because you had so much power as the leader. If you qualify up front, you're going to be really strong, and I think you'll see a lot of pack racing, and some people like that. I think that, my opinion doesn't mean it's the wrong or right opinion. That's just how I feel about it. But Jacob Lemke says, I still like it. Definitely a lot easier to drive and learn than the Gen 4, which we talked about that last week. That's important. It's important that the car be stable. I don't think that you can get loose. Jonah Colbert was the only one that got loose. I don't know how. I could not get the thing loose. I tried to drift it. It got sideways for a second when I flung it into the corner, and then immediately just corrected itself. I couldn't even drift around the corner. Jeremy Garner says, I've only raced it on super speedways. I thought it sucked. Pointy nose. Pull it up and draft like a next gen. No help from behind. You can't pull up on the car in front of you.
Well, hang on. Jeremy Gardner never has anything nice to say. Like,
Okay.
Yeah, so I would just throw that comment out the window. Like, he never says anything nice.
DS. Is that Devin Smith? I don't know who DS
Sure,
is.
we'll go with that. Yeah.
He says thumbs down for the new ARCA car. Jamie Lipke says, I'm liking it. Needs some adjusting, probably the setups, which I agree. I think I want to see. I want to see with some better setups. You're right. I don't need to just Pocono on the new car make a huge judgment. But I've tried it on a few tracks. I feel like I know how it's going to race, but I'm looking forward to some adjustments. Skylar Daly says, I enjoy it. Definitely tighter than the old car. Charles Stevens says, don't pull out. Got you. Yeah, there's don't pull out. Your pull out game should be real weak in this car. Jamie Lipke says, I wanted it at Charlotte last night. You can get some good racing in it. So I like it. I don't know. Not great. I'm bummed out only because of the oval sort of stack at the moment is probably the least enticing stack of oval cars that we've had in iRacing for the official series in a long time. So I'm a little bit worried about that part. The Gen 4, when the actual Gen 4 that comes out with the two different body styles, maybe that will be sort of where I kind of gravitate to. Of course, always got the 87s. They're always a hoot. So DS is Devin, by the way. So cool.
Oh, there you go.
All right. Well, those are good opinions. I like hearing what everybody says. But we had one that I thought would be interesting, and I'm curious to hear what everybody thinks. In the driver introductions in NASCAR, they have walkout songs. So I want to know what would be everybody's walkout song. And so, Pat, we kind of started talking about it when I stopped you. The discussion is interesting because you can't just pick the best song because you only got maybe 30 seconds of a song to play. So, there are songs that I would love to have, but it wouldn't fit good in that little 30-second window. So I think that has to be a consideration. I don't know. You got anything off the top of your head? What would be your introduction
100%.
song? Oh, what is it?
Non-point, Ruthless.
Okay.
And if you've never heard the song, go ahead and pull it up now. Yeah, non-point, Ruthless. Love that song.
Oh, going back, Devin Smith said USA should be entertaining next week. I think that's a good point. That'll be a good litmus test for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm struggling with this because there's a lot of really good songs. Def Leppard jumps to my mind almost immediately. And I can't think of the name. The name
Pour Some Sugar
song.
on Me?
No, that's.
I mean, come on.
Not that song.
Come on. Jamie Lipke. That is an amazing song. One of the early songs from In This Moment, The Gun Show.
What's the one with? I think it's maybe Hysteria.
Okay. Yep.
Is that the one? Let me listen. No, it's not that one.
It's not that one. Okay, it's not.
What's the one? I'm not going to even do it. I think it's Rock of Ages. I think Rock of Ages is the one with the.
Okay. Yeah. Now I got that song stuck in my head. The Gun Show. Ooh.
Yeah, I think it is Rock of Ages. I don't know, but it's on Pyromania, and I don't know why I'm blanking on it. But
Welcome to the Jungle. Come on, let's get creative. Ooh, Hail to the King. There we go.
Welcome to the Jungle is a good one though, like that. But
it is.
Everybody could choose that for sure.
I think Jeremy Gardner's more of like a Purple Rain kind of guy. He'd come out to Purple Rain. That's my thought. Whoa, Pantera. These are my people right now.
I could do some Michael Jackson like Dirty Diana or something. That'd be a pretty sweet walkout one.
Yeah, I suppose it would. We'll go. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Walk Pantera. That's a good one. Well, see, some of these I don't even know. Napalm in the Morning by Sodom. That sounds awesome.
That one I don't know.
Yeah, if I knew that we weren't going to get in trouble, we'd play some of these. But we've already got in trouble, Pat, for some copyright issues. I don't know if we got in trouble for playing the YouTube videos of the different quotes or something. We got in trouble. So anyway, let's see. Oh, come on, Pat, hit me with some more. What do you think?
Golly, man. I mean, we were having a pretty good conversation about Slipknot before the show started, and some of their different genres of stuff. And
well, duality.
You know, duality.
We talked about coming out to that to the intro part would be really sweet.
You know, so in talking about music, we would be here for the next 2 hours because I am. Music is life to me. I mean, I have always got music going on around me. I find a lot of comfort in it. All this. Dancing Queen, I like that one. That's actually 100%. Actually, yeah, I could see that too.
What do you go for? Do you go for funny, or do you go for like just feeling badass? Like what?
No. You got to go for feeling badass. I mean, if you're coming out for a driver's, introduction, I mean, you want the energy as well.
Yeah, Chapter 4 from Avenged Sevenfold would be a sweet one. It's got a pretty sweet little drum part of of the intro that's pretty good.
Heretic Anthem. If you're 555.
There you go. What about some? Let's see. What about some Queen? Is there any Queen that you want to?
No. No, come on, man.
You want to ride your bicycle?
No. No.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to come out to Queen Bicycle. There you go.
No.
Go check that song out. I like these though. Somebody from the Spice Girls. I'm the type of person I would do something ironic, so I would come out to like Spice Girls. I would do something stupid, just something that you wouldn't expect. Let me think. I don't know. Yeah, a couple Pantera. Wrecking Ball by Miley Cyrus. I don't know about that.
You would walk out to Dirty Diana or Spice Girls, but you're gonna pass on some Miley Cyrus?
Yeah, I don't like Miley Cyrus. I don't get it.
That weird beatboxing thing that Korn does. Nice. That weird beatboxing thing. Well, the gentleman's name is Jonathan Davis, and it's it's kind of an old form of what they used to call scat. And if you go back and you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, Scat Man would be a good one to come out to. I'm a scat man. Skibidi nope. How about that?
Don't ever do that again.
Well, now Ariel's from System of a Down. Yes, please. I'll take some of that and I'll have second. You don't like System of a Down? What's wrong with you?
I do not.
Why? What's the all right, let's break it down. What's the deal?
Oh my God, somebody brought Lamb of God in here.
Yeah,
Redneck is amazing.
Yeah, that's cheating.
Why is that cheating?
Candy Shop by 50 Cent. I like that.
That sounds like something Denny Hamlin would walk out to.
What about the Days of Thunder theme from Spencer Davis Group? That's a pretty good one.
Oh, I can get down.
What's your beef with System of a Down? I love System of a Down. What's the deal there? You don't like metal political? Guy. Is it a political thing?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm a metal guy and all that thing. I think System of a Down is just so all over the place. Like they can't even figure out what they want to be. They're like over here.
Queen? Like Queen?
Yeah, I can't stand Queen.
Really?
I cannot stand Queen.
Hot takes. Burning takes from Patrick Drabick. Blah, 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 blah.
And I put Queen and System of a Down together. They're like they write these really idiot songs and then they go all over the fucking place with them. There's my one F word. Can't do it. I just don't, and then you got a bunch of freaking, 15-year-old kids wearing these shirts thinking, and you're like, shut up, stupid. So no, I don't like them. I don't like them at all.
Wow. So Patrick, known 15-year-old abuser is what we found out here tonight.
I have one in my house and I would love to punch him in the face.
Let's see. Ace of Base for me. I don't mind Ace of Base. I love 80s music.
I saw the sign.
Yeah.
I think that's the only song they might have done. Oh, that's a good one too. That was the much better.
Crazy Train or Sweet Dreams?
Yeah. That was one of the. See, we're going to be here for hours. We're going to shut this down.
That's fine.
Of all the songs that have ever been covered, typically it's not better than the original version. That one kills the original version.
Yep. I think so.
I mean, it is just so much better. And the original version is really good by the Eurythmics. I mean, it's really good, but that amazing.
Yeah. I actually agree with that. It's a pretty solid cover.
The video's weird as shit, but
Yeah, that's and I growing up when I did, MTV was such a big thing. The video was sort of played a lot into my opinions of people and their music, and I think weird video folks like Slipknot and stuff like that kind of slipped through the cracks for me because of the weird ass videos. And I think if I could go back and just listen to the music, I think it would change how I feel about a lot of bands. I feel like Jeremy Garner just like Googled best songs ever and just is typing them in.
Yeah, I don't think he really.
Enter Sandman, dude. You gotta be kidding me.
No.
Like you hear that every time at a high school baseball game when a baseball player's coming up to deck that's like Enter Sandman.
Yeah.
It's Slayer. Oh, we haven't heard Slayer yet. That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take that. Yeah. Okay. We got a lot of good ones here. So that apparently people have songs ready to go. So if we need some walkout music, which you know what, boom, light bulb. No, we can't play music. Never mind. I was gonna say it'd be really cool for like a Final Four to have like walkout music before the race started to play their little their walkout music or something like that to a graphic or something for them. But
yeah, but as we wrap this up, as we were talking pre-show, walk like a dinosaur, get out of here. I told you need to go listen to a cover of a song.
Mm-hmm.
What was that?
It was Nonpoint, and it was I don't remember now.
When Doves Cry.
Oh, that's right, the Prince song.
The Prince cover. Yeah, anybody that's in the audience right now, go to YouTube right now. That is an amazing cover by Nonpoint, When Doves Cry. Good shit. So, but man, Eddie, I mean, hell of a show.
Wait a minute.
Yeah,
Wait a minute. I'm I would walk out to End the Air tonight. 100%. I would do
Phil
it.
Collins version?
Yep. Yeah, of course. Not well, I like Coheed and Cambria's version. If you ever heard that one, but the problem is the drum part of Phil Collins in there tonight was a huge part crescendo of the
Nonpoint also covered that song too.
Oh, did they really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll have to listen to it, but if they do the too much, I won't be into it. That's what Coheed or I think it was Coheed and Cambria. I think they did it. I'll have to go back and look. But somebody did it, and they did the drum solo too much. And Like a Virgin by Madonna. Okay.
Of course, that was Tim Jones.
Yeah, In the Air tonight. I would do it right before the drum solo, and then I would walk out as the drum solo is playing. I don't know if it gets any better than that for me.
Well, you got a couple Nonpoint songs to listen to this evening, so
there you go. All right, well, hey, great episode. We went super long, but it was worth every second of it. Thank y'all for being here. Actually, everybody was super active, and we had a nice amount of people in here tonight. And thank y'all so much for being a part of the show. It definitely makes it a lot better when there's people in chat, yip-yapping, and being a part of it. Greta Van Fleet, that's not bad. I don't know. I kind of like them. They're kind of weird.
They are kind of weird.
But I like them just a little bit. There's something about them. So, yeah. Great job tonight by everybody being a part of things, and go vote on the scheme bracket. If you haven't already, go ahead and get to vote. You got a whole week to do it. Thank everybody for watching. Thank all of our sponsors, SAVE22. Go check them out on YouTube if you're not subscribed at SAVE22 Vet. Go check out Happy Hour Racing. We're going to actually pull that up one more time just so they get their happyhourracing.com/ATYL. You can scan that QR code right now if you're looking for a diecast, a shirt, something to maybe a gift to give. Christmas is just like 9 months away, so might want to go ahead and get that done now. But they got all kinds of stuff, some really good products to go check out and support those, support us. As always, want to thank Brad from Indiana Department of Veteran Affairs for coming on. And yeah, we'll see y'all tomorrow night on V Speed for the Friday Night Truck Series. It's presented by SAVE22. And thank y'all so much for joining us. I don't know if we'll be here next week or not, Pat. I don't think we've decided. We may have a show next week. We may not. I don't know. Yeah, if y'all want a show next week, let us know. Just ping us a bunch of time and let us know you really want it. If not, we might take next week off as we get ready for the playoffs. I don't know.
I like it.
We'll see.
We'll
All
see.
right, guys. We'll see y'all later. Y'all have a good night.